folks, what is going on? We're going to do some artwork this morning. Give me a second here to check my signal, and then we'll get started. If you're familiar with the channel already, you can skip ahead a minute, and we'll be done with all our intro stuff. Sounds like the sound is coming through. The sound is soundly sound. It sounds of sound and sound. Get rid of that and go here. I'm going to do some quick posts here. And we'll get started. So, hey, my name is Phil Kearney. What is up? I create role-playing games, I illustrate them, and I publish them online. And we are creating content for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition that will be publishing on the DMsGuild once it is completed. I've been running games in D&D since 1987. I've been a freelance illustrator since 1999. And creating content on DMsGuild since 2018. This is an Eberron adventure called Crystals of Mabar. You can see the book cover here on screen. I've been an Eberron enthusiast since 2004, but I've never actually created an adventure. So it's time for me to correct that, which we are doing right now. So if you find today interesting, you want to check out more of my stuff, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications of when we're live in the future. And here's the full playlist of all 410 episodes, my Discord community, and a whole bunch of other books I've already created on the DMsGuild that are all free preview that you can check out at your leisure. If you think they're cool, consider purchasing something to encourage more behavior related to whatever it is that you buy. So, book cover here around episode 40, and now we're getting into page art. So we're working on an undead horde. That is the natural consequence of your characters backing away from the adventure and letting things happen the way that the bad guys want. So this is what we'll end up seeing. I'm going to take a quick moment here and darken this dude up a bit because his head just looks a little too pale. So I'm gonna add some dark in on that guy. Ooh, I need to get rid of. Let's get rid of that for now. Add just a little bit more lighting to that. I was looking a little, well, pardon the pun, I was looking a little pallid. We developed some of the Bashing campaign mass combat system from yesterday during our lunch design stream. We've got another lunch design stream coming up today. I don't honestly know. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if that's going to connect or not. There's pretty good. And just back it down a touch so it doesn't stand out too much. Equals. That feels pretty good. Merge. And this guy, he's about ready to get integrated too. Let's pull the front row forward to see how he's sitting. Yeah, he's sitting pretty good. My stomach was really upset last night. Not that you care in particular, and I don't blame you for not caring. But the after, oh boy, yeah, I had some indigestion last night, that's for sure. I'm hoping that doesn't rear up during our session today. Because while the toilet is near, it is out of reach of my keyboard. Let's get this guy out of the way. Thank you. I gotta keep an eye on what's going on the front line for me to integrate in here to make this make sense. I think this is gonna be okay like it is. Yeah, that's gonna be fine. All this does not matter. These legs do not matter. I'm just mincing on this right now because I can mince on it. So let's actually switch to a guitar pick for push. Get that to smooth out just a little bit easier here. And then we'll get rid of this line here. We're about ready to merge this guy line art into the color and then blend it. Feels right. A little more talky today. I did get good sleep. That is true. I had one of those great dreams where whoever it was that I was talking to in the dream asked me if I was ready to wake up, and when I decided that the answer was yes, my alarm went off. Crazy. Either I really knew it was the alarm was going to go off, and my dreams were feeding that information to me, or our dreams cycle so quickly in our mind that the first instant of the first note was all the information that my brain needed to concoct that dream, so that I wouldn't realize that I was already saying yes to something that was literally starting to occur. And there's no real way to distinguish between the two, and I would say that they're equally amazing. That's not true. Being able to predict the future is more amazing than being so hyper aware of it that you can respond as though you can see the future, you know, the Force style. But it does tell us in either instance that the information that's cycling through us is processing faster than our meat suits are designed to process or integrate, but our mind does have access to that level of ability, that level of reaction. So I guess in that sense, they're both equally amazing, because there is a lot. I wouldn't say a lot. I've heard discussions from scientists, etc., that muse that there's a time delay that goes on with our awareness as the signal moves from our receptors to our brain comprehending. And I would say dreams like that is potentially the best evidence of this being true, that we're literally living in our own past, being fed a very limited scope of information that allows us to retain our identities of ourselves without completely breaking down when faced with when faced with contrary information. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Merge that down. Once invincible, and now your armor's wearing thin. Heavy shield down. Got Tool in my head this morning. Tool is often in my head after good sleep. I think my muse likes to feed me messages through Maynard's lyrics. I think that's fair. Let's straighten this up. Integrating the line art into the overall form. Keep shit straightened, squared away. Go. Looking bad, my guy. Looking evil. I'm sorry you're typecast to be that way, little monster, but all that lives is born to die, and you are overdue. Nice. Let's take that. That feels good. There we go. Cut, paste. Push that in a bit. Looks good. That feels good. And here, let's add our front line back in so we can keep focused on what do we actually need to keep focused on. Yeah, this dude is so almost ready. We'll move on to the next. Yeah, it's just we're on the back row. Everything's just going to move a little bit quicker now. Oh yeah, this guy looks like he is ready. Nice. All right, we are just about done with this dude. There, like that. This guy's looking pretty good. Hey, what's up? Foxtrot. Yeah. No, there's nothing wrong with that. But don't get attached to them. They're just NPCs. They're going to be killed. That is the problem that every DM faces with anything that they develop. As soon as you start naming them, you fall in love with them, and then you want to protect them from the horrible player activity. And then you're railroading them, and then they feel like they don't have any agency in your game. And then the fact that Steve has a name doesn't matter anymore because nobody wants to play with him. So tread carefully, my man. Tread carefully. They've been around long enough that they feel like fucking family, don't they? It's just, this piece has taken us a while. That is the punchline that I am walking away with from that comment. But keep in mind, the only time that I'm actually doing artwork right now for this project is when you see me on stream. It's because most of my off time, what limited off time I have, I spend on the page layouts, so I have more spaces to put additional artwork in when those are done. So, and they're coming along. We are definitely coming along with the layouts for the book. Well, we're moving forward every day, resolving sections, filling up space, making it work. Boy oh boy, does it take a while. So, but I would not be inspired to take on this task if this was not the next task that was worth taking on. Otherwise, I'd be working on something else. So that escalated quickly. I've got a lot more pop today than I had yesterday. I got better sleep. I was a zombie yesterday, pardon the puns, but I was walking among these dudes just trying to get through my day. Although I gotta say, the lunchtime stream working on the bashing conflicts mechanics was very, very smooth going. But I don't feel like I was really treading new ground there. These were ideas that we've been playing with for at least a few years now. So the bastion skill check warfare is very, very straightforward, very simple. And then we'll probably drop it. I mean, we'll eventually get to expanding the fleet. Like the Spelljammer book that I have has like fleet combat and squadron commanding, and where you're commanding, potentially hundreds or thousands of troops and ships at the same time. But the ships themselves carry a shitload of crew. So there's it's not quite the same. The way that it's organized and being able to move troops together in movement and utilizing character action economy to command those troops in an actual 5e round of combat, mass combat style, it's a hell of an accomplishment, and I'm very, very proud of those mechanics. But they're not, you know, here's 50 troops, go attack that dragon. We have those mechanics. We've play tested those mechanics, and they definitely work, but I haven't actually formulated them into any formal product yet, which is going to be a step that will eventually be taking. Right now, I reckon it's going to be on the DMsGuild, but there's an outside chance that I'll do a Kickstarter with it and put it out on ttrpg or my own homepage. I haven't decided yet. Good. Okay, great. That guy's this. I think this guy's cooked. Good enough. Yeah, we'll fill in this gap with more Hujizis. Hujizi. Let's go with next dude is right there. Wow. Just got the whole thing this time. That's a good, see, that's a really good gap for this dude to sit in. But I don't know about this guy. Like, he might be. Like, this guy might end up being better off back here, or got him sitting here currently. We could have him. Nah. How about you go off then? Do you need a bit bigger? Cool. All right, that's gonna sit. That's gonna be fine. Burp burp. Yep. Burp. Cool. Let's work on the line art just a smidge. Yeah, thank you. But regardless, whether I'm feeling good or not, it's I try to put in at least my morning shift to get artwork done. I like to do art on, I like to have a design stream on Wednesdays at lunch, but I know 1 o'clock I've got a thing going on, and that's right in the middle of where I would normally run my stream, and I don't think I can get away. I feel like I'm going to not be able to stream today, which makes me sad. I currently don't see how to avoid it. Yeah, my muse is telling me that I am not going to be streaming at lunch today. If the world changes and I'm able to jump on, I certainly will. But right now, I would rather predict that I will be AFK because that just feels like where the energy's at right now than to make a promise that I'm going to be on later today and then just bail. So just trying to stay fluid with my schedule and be realistic. My ability to stream at lunch at all is kind of at the whim of office duties. And while I keep a good lid on my shit, occasionally I get caught out of frame. And that is what's happening later on today. There's just a meeting cropping up that normally wouldn't interrupt with my schedule, but it's a priority, so I have to attend. Let's get these guys out of the way. There we go. Hey, you're looking good there, buddy. Hey, what's up? Hey, Fezzo. How are you doing, my guy? There. Yeah, let's fill this in to see where we're at. There. Bit of cleanup. Make that look prettier. Where's my front line? Yep, that is all parsed. So we can fill these gaps in here. And then we can get to work on detail. Add a little bit down there. This is literally all I need on this guy. It's the rest of the structure is concealed. Maybe adding a little bit more here. That. Okay, cool. That should be something I don't like about whatever this is. My phone just duped. There. That, I think, is the proper anatomy. Fill that in. Check my positioning again. Yeah, it looks great. Be able to add some teeth in here. Down? Just finished the giant. Ooh, yum. Yeah, hell yeah, dude. I am quite the meat enthusiast myself. I like a good brown sugar glaze on my ham. That was preemptive. I should not have done that. Should not have done that. I should not have done that. I need to add my color layer in, or my color details before I merge the line art in and integrate everything. I done did do it out of order. There, let's do Prava. Highlight what's going on over here. I go to that bone desert place. Somehow El Hazard has gotten into my head. I am a recovering anime enthusiast / addict in that I was able basically Neon Genesis I think was no. It was either it was during the Toonami days of Tenchi Muyo and Yaya Asuka, Yu Yu Hakuo, and not like Gundam Wing. That's around the time that I started checking out of the animated scene. I think the most modern anime that I've actually purchased on DVD was probably like Martian Successor to Desico, or like Fooly Cooly OAV, and the Tenchi Muyo AOV. I think those are the most like quote unquote modern anime that I've actually purchased to have in my collection. Pretty much after that, I started seeing the patterns. Like there's every culture has like a story, like story arcs and story themes, and the stories that generally sit inside popular anime just started becoming a little repetitive. Neon Genesis Evangelion was an excellent deconstruction of the giant robot trope, and I cherish it for that. But there was a generational change somewhere, like a few years after that, which kind of like reset everything. That it started feeling like Sailor Moon, but more ironic and sarcastic, and it just wasn't jiving with me anymore. So the cynicism of the following anime generation, it was too thick for me. It wasn't I gotta say the anime that I've enjoyed the most since all the way back since Martian Successor and Fooly Cooly, I would say Spy X Family is it has been the only modern, like quote unquote, that and Cyberpunk 2077 Edge Runner, Cyberpunk Edge Runner, and yeah, and Spy X Family are the only like two most recent animes that I've even wanted to finish. So I've gotten reminiscent for the feels of the old days, and they like the quote unquote they don't make them like they used to is alive and real inside of me. Like I would rather watch Fatal Fury the motion picture again than to watch almost anything that's new in anime, and that definitely makes me a curmudgeon, and I can own that. Trying to walk my way through the University Century shows in order. I'm 60% through, currently regretting my decision. Regretting your decision. University Century. Oh, that's a Gundam Wing show. I did not know that. My favorite anime is probably Rutsuko, The Legend of the Overfiend. Yeah, I saw that in college, and it's intense. That I think that fits your Warhammer, the general motif of what is the word I'm looking for? Sensationalism. Let's go with that. You have a flair for the sensational, Francois. So Utsugoji is something that I could see falling into that palette. It's not work appropriate, so I shan't go on about details about it, but it was certainly a thing. Ninja Scroll was probably my favorite anime movie of all time. Ninja Scroll was freaking awesome. That is such a well-built story. And all the acts of violence and inappropriateness that happen in it actually serve purposes and like further the story, which is rare because so often like sex and stuff like that is often so gratuitous in anime. It's really cool to see when those type of story elements can actually get integrated into the plot and be relevant to what the heroes are doing. So that's what I'll say about that. God, Ninja Scroll is such a freaking cool movie. I actually almost watched it again the other day. I've seen it so many times I can pretty much just let it play in my mind. But it's nice to get the visual feed occasionally. God, what a good film! And seriously, Fatal Fury, the motion picture, it's silly. It's like Ranma 1/2 level of silly. It's in that era, but it's still really, really good. And I was never a King of Fighters fan on the Neo Geo, so I had no idea who any of the Fatal Fury characters were when I stumbled into that anime. But it made me a fan. I thoroughly enjoyed Fatal Fury movies. Ranma 1/2 was my cornerstone though. I love me some Ranma, but only the first season and a half, and then the OAVs. There's like 18 seasons of that, and it's like, why? Nothing is happening here. But it is like the ultimate harem TV show. It's such a great show. So funny. Hey, Timely Timer. How are we doing on time? It is 7:20. Okay, we got a half hour. We're doing good. Let's get down into here. Yeah, that film is sick. I have Berserk on my queue, and I have heard from old school anime enthusiasts that Berserk is worth time. I just got to make that time. So maybe when I finish this book, I'll treat myself to investing the time to watch it. Like I watch Spy X Family episode, like one episode at a time, like one episode per day, and that was a nice change of pace. I binge shows whenever I can on streaming, just like sit down for the weekend. Since I don't do production on Sundays, I spend that time with my gal, and we'll find a show we haven't seen and binge binge through it, and there you go. There's that experience. So maybe we can get Berserk on tap to binge through. Fits of silence. Drop that in there like that. Just getting the lighting going here. I'm thrilled to see, I think I mentioned this recently, so forgive me if I'm being redundant, but I saw the a teaser trailer for Astartes 2, and I love me some good looking Warhammer art. Just like I just like shampoo. Season 1 of the Sword Art. Oh yeah, SOA. I remember seeing SAO. That was decent. Yeah, I did catch some anime for a while. Isn't that is true? Let's see. Love Hina. I caught Love Hina. That was pretty good. It was another harem style show, but it was more focused on the girls than the guy, which I thought was interesting. But it was the same harem mashup of like typical characters. So, and that's like the trope of different types of characters, like the eccentric, like midget, cute inventor, and the serious laced combat specialists, or like competent in battle. Whether it's a show like Nabiki from Ranma did not fight at all, but her sarcasm was the most scathing of all in the show. So she could defeat people with her, with her observations and brutal honesty. That unto itself was like its own death attack. So like that fits into that like serious, straight-laced, competent sort of depiction, and like. And then there's the one that wants to defeat like the Kasumi type that just wants to mother everybody, and that I would say Sasami played that role in Tenchi Muyo, for instance. Grab some guts. Oh, I just locked up. I just saw my thing slide, so I think I have to restart. Restart this one. That is not good. Yeah, it's saving. So it's going to save and it's going to crash. Or, oh, did we? Nope, it crashed. So I'm going to have to kill that. And then reopen it. Inuyasha was okay, I guess. The schoolgirl demon relationship seems to be like the primary, like the central story drive, and it just didn't have enough. I just don't think it had enough meat on the bone to really hold the story. It was amusing enough, I guess, from a villain of the week sort of perspective, but it just didn't have much progression to it. So cannot get behind that. I like the characters. The characters were cool. But like that was, I would say like El Hazard was a better Inuyasha. El Hazard was the fucking shit. Full Metal Alchemist was very good. But that was also during that same time period. But I just wanted to give it homage because freaking FMA, dude. FMA is solid. Yeah, the 90s was 90s, early 2000s. That was to me peak anime, just top of the game. Everything else has felt derivative since then. Except, you know, the snobby ones that I like. I'm thankful that I'm at least familiar with the titles for a lot of anime, even if I couldn't even get into Attack on Titan, but at least I'm familiar with it. Yeah, that's good. That's pretty cool. I like that. It was fun. Yeah, it was fun. Oh my god. That is a great comparison. I will salute you on that reference because yeah, both Ice Pirates and Time Bandits are ridiculously fun. But yeah, utter garbage. Just not good. But yeah, they were ridiculous levels of fun. God, fucking Ice Pirates. I swear that has to be where Keith Baker came up with Warforged in the first place. So ridiculous. It's so funny now looking back at what Ice Pirates was and what we know about space. Like space this is literally flooded with water. There's water fucking everywhere in space. You cannot throw a rock in space and not hit a giant chunk of water somewhere. And the idea that the universe was running out of water as the central premise of Ice Pirates at this point, it's just like, yeah, that's more of a mood than something you actually have to worry about. But it was I mean, we didn't know. It was appropriate for the time. I have a difficult time saying the same for, like, say, the Black Hole, the Disney movie Black Hole. God, I love that movie. That and Flash Gordon are like the first two sci-fi that I actually know, like, have memory recall of actually watching and loving. And then there was my consciousness came and like kind of snapped into focus around 1980. So that's during that time. Like I think Empire Strikes Back came out in like 81, something like that. You know what? I feel like I can bind this all down. So let's bind it down. Merge. This guy's head is sinisterly large. I think I need to bring it down a bit. Good. Jedi, man, that was some sick shit. I was old enough and by the time Return of the Jedi hit the theater, I was old enough to be obsessed with action figures. It's like that was like peak G.I. Joe action figure era. Like it was like just past He-Man, before video games. It was like highly articulated, very small action figures was where it was at, and in peak male interest. That and the increasingly high quality of water guns that were being created at the time. Intertech was a company that was creating motorized water guns that they had like an Uzi and M16 and stuff like that. That was a fun era. And all that shit collapsed when Nintendo hit the market, basically. So the type of visual problem that I have, it's called monochromatism, and it one of the side effects of not having cones in your eyes is severe light sensitivity. So I do not fare well in the sunlight at all. And it's like I'm day blind, basically. If I go out into just naked sun, it's my eyes just shut down. So I felt so happy when video games, when Nintendo took off, because I didn't have to convince people to stay inside anymore. I wasn't constantly trying to negotiate with friends. It's like, I don't want to go outside. It is way too bright, but I don't want to be left alone and abandoned by my peer group. So I would have to grin and bear it or be alone. And when Nintendo took over the toy market, I was like, thank God, everyone just wants to sit on their ass on the couch in the dark playing a video game. I don't care what the video game is. I can see it. I will participate in this event now, and I don't feel less for it. That was a big moment for Phil. Like that. There we go. If I can knock out 2 of these per day, that's not bad. We're currently knocking out 2 of these per day. as opposed to 1 every 3 days. So that is a strong good. There, it looks like my conversation dried up. That's okay. We're almost done. What is it? 45? Yeah, I'll get this. I can probably get this guy done, and then tomorrow we'll keep moving on to the next. There. Like that. Good. And then just blend this in. Do some cleanup along the edges here. I gotta make those teeth yellow. We'll get to that. Good. And here, straighten that stuff up. Up in here like that. Bring that smudge through here. That looks good. Stretch my arm out a little bit. It's feeling a little jammed up. There, like that. And so your dad was super into video games. I remember we had an Atari, a Commodore 64, other 4-bit systems that had a great. Got a Genesis. Even though I had been bugging for yeah, Genesis was okay. Nintendo was clearly the audience pick in America, but Sega was still pretty. Sonic was cool. Phantasy Star was cool. Honestly, other than Sonic and Phantasy Star, I can't really think of anything like why would I want to play Sega over Nintendo. One of my friends had a Sega, and it was just like these games are just. This didn't feel as good. Yeah, I hear you. I still got 10 minutes. 10 minutes. We'll go with a 10-minute timer. See if how good we can get these skellies fleshed out. Split a hair. That up feels good. there we go. Yeah. Dead like racing games and Super Monaco. Oh, I remember Super Monaco. Yeah, and Shadowrun. No kidding. I never played Shadowrun on Sega. Maybe if I had, was it like the actual like actual Shadowrun, like the role playing game, but made into a video game? Because I was unaware that it even existed. But if I had, I would have wanted to play it. I was a pretty big Shadowrun enthusiast. I like Shadowrun way more than I like Cyberpunk. Even though, you know, they had similar flavor, it's just the blend of fantasy and fantasy creatures in the sci-fi modern setting was just, it was too tasty for me to not want to delve into. So it's it's so different than Nintendo. I didn't even know there was a Nintendo one. I knew there was Shadowrun PC games at some point, but I never played them. So this is fascinating to me. Like none of my friends that played the Shadowrun RPG like ever mentioned that there was a Shadowrun game on Sega or on Nintendo. I'm just gonna leave this stumped because it goes behind another character, so I don't really have to. I don't have to flesh it out, so I'm gonna opt not to. Non-issue. Apparently I'm getting a little stuffy. Hopefully I'm not catching a cold. Head feels too... Is the head's too big or is it the body's too small? It's kind of 6 or a half dozen, you know? Free transform. Uh-huh. Yep, once I shifted the body like that, this arm feels really frickin' weird. I thought that was a problem. So let's merge down, cut, paste. All right, transform that a touch. Push it back. That. There, that feels better. Yeah, looks a little bit better too. Push that down there. That feels pretty good. Will you be on early Saturday? I am going to need some help reworking my barbarian. Yeah, I plan on being here from like around 6:30 till 8 Seattle time, which is 9:30 till 1 East Coast. So yeah, I will definitely be on, and I'm happy to rework the barbarian. And yeah, we're reworking the we're removing. We had a function inside of the game that would allow you to reduce the cost of a first rank power to basically be free to use as a cantrip. And we're, as a team, we're questioning, is that too strong? To be able to do it at like to be able to, like, if you purchase a power, like a first rank power, you can use it as long as you spend mana. If you purchase it again, it becomes 0 cost using the efficient power feat. And being able to do that basically is like at 4th level, we have 7 powers. So like being able to have like 3 powers that you can do for free across the board is potentially too strong. So we're testing it to get rid of that power to see how it feels to have to spend mana every time that you want to use a power, whether it's through efficient action whether it's through action economy or spending from the mana pool. We wanted to take in a level of how that feels. So the barbarian was built to not need mana at all, and in really curving out the character to be literally 0 mana, it revealed this is pretty strong. So I don't necessarily think it's out of control. And not this week, but the following week, we'll start using 2024 monsters to really see how things actually pace. So we might turn around that idea. But for the 2014 monsters that we've been facing, being able to spam out powers unlimited in combat is proving to be too generous. Hence, requiring rework. I'll happily invest time with you here on stream to do that. That actually sounds like a fun activity. So as much as I love that generating mana idea, if we can't find a way for it to be viable, then you got to get rid of it. That would be a darling that I would hate to drown. But if it's got to die, it's got to die. And I think we're going to find out pretty quickly if that's true or not. So I mean, we have ways of being able to get it back into this. I like the idea of making it a sustained power. But we gotta mess with it first. So all right, that's my official timer. We're at 50 something. 58. Yeah, I gotta bounce. I just want to mess with this arm. I don't even think this arm matters. It matters a little bit. Gotta just blend that in. Once I finish this arm, this guy is pretty much as done as he needs to be. We'll probably do a final pass. So when we start integrating fog into the spaces around these creatures, then we'll probably take a separate pass to see how well its body sticks out and helps separate forms with the things that are in the foreground. I'm kind of word salading at the moment. I just got to get this line art integrated with the body. Yeah, I really question whether I'm going to be on lunch stream today or not. So I'm going to assume that I'm not, and if I am pleasantly surprised, then anyone that catches the stream will be too. But I will assume I shan't be back until tomorrow morning, but then I'll be back to continue working on the Bastion system tomorrow night. I think we're actually getting pretty close with the Bastion campaign concept. I think we've just about got as much meat on the bones as we need to for it. That feels good. I like that. I think that looks pretty cool. Not bad. All right, we're going to do that. Add the rest of these mooks back in. Yugoloth up top. Our growing horde of army. This fog effect here is stifling the let's change to my cloud brush. And then I gotta go. I really gotta go. She's just not letting me go yet. All right, that's it for now. I'm going to go ahead and cut. We're slowly getting these guys filled in. So we got that guy there. We'll probably be able to get like these 3 or 4, maybe like 1, 2, 3. We can get 3 done tomorrow, I suspect. And then Friday, we'll probably get like 3 or 4 of these dudes. And then maybe I'll just knock out the rest of these guys over the weekend. So we'll come back on the Yugoloth on Monday. I'm not 100% sure, but that's where we're at. So, like Spicy Michigan and Samurai Jack. All the moves with using efficiency in game, playing like such standstill and stuff. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see if you can pull that off. So I think the Minotaur, with its charge attack, leans into being able to make use of bonus action attack really much more readily. But yeah, being able to use action economy like like once you get into position, staying in position like that to be able to burn your movement to be able to generate mana to pull things off. I think that's going to help. Yeah, we'll see. We'll talk about that on Saturday when you show up. So, all right, I got to get out of here. Thanks a lot, guys. And anyone else that's here in the future, whatever, catch up with me. Like, subscribe, blah. See you guys later. Bye.